when you work in Photoshop, if you make changes to an image, it forever alters the pixels that you worked on. So you're being destructive to those. You're changing them. If you want to non-destructively make alterations to an image, you can use some other techniques, and one of those is by using a separate layer to do your corrections on. That's what we're going to work with today. Make sure that you've downloaded the non-destructive image from that folder. I'm going to click that. You can see it's in my download. I'm going to open it. I'm going to get off of the crop tool. So we've got some things here we want to change. We want to take care of some blemishes on this young lady. So one of the first things we're going to do is we'll open our layers palette so we can see. That's one of the strengths of Photoshop is the layers. It's what Photoshop is built on. So we're looking here. It's the background layer. So what we want to do is to create a new layer on top of this where we can make our changes. So I'm going to click down here at the bottom of the layers. It says create a new layer. It's going to put a blank layer here on top. I might just go ahead and call this blemish. I misspelled it. Blemish layer. And that's where we're going to make our corrections. Now you can tell which layer is active when you click it. It highlights that layer. And for this, we're going to want to be on the blemish layer. We're going to go over here and we're going to choose the spot healing brush out of the tools panel. So if you click and hold down, you can make sure that you have the spot healing and not the healing brush. They work differently, just slightly. So we're on the spot healing brush. We're on the blemish layer. It's active. Now we also need to go up here in the options bar and make sure that sample all layers is clicked. By default it's not, but we want to sample the bottom layer and draw on the top layer. So we're just going to use this spot healing brush, and you can make your brush larger or smaller by using your left makes it smaller, right bracket buttons right above your enter key. Left and right bracket. So if it's a small blemish or something you need to remove, you can just click and draw, let go, and it's gone. If I'm going to zoom in here, you can see I'm going to make it a little smaller. I'm going to click and draw over those blemishes and let those disappear. So zoom in and out here a little bit so I can do this. Okay. So as you can see, you can move around. I'm not sure if I've told you this shortcut yet. By using the space bar and the command key, or the space bar and the control key, you can zoom without having to choose the zoom tool. And if you add the option or alt key, you can zoom out. You can also drag things around to zoom in. So you're going to want to do that for everything on here. I'm not going to do everything because this is a tutorial. But if you look, if you can, on your blemish layer, you can toggle the visibility, the little eyeball that's to the left, and you can see what you've done. So you can see how good or how bad your changes have been. So hopefully they will be good. All right, so that non-destructively, as long as you keep this as a Photoshop document, it will always be there. It will be in a separate layer. If you save this as a JPEG, it would flatten these layers into one. You would be destructively changing this original image. So we're going to save it as a Photoshop document. File, save as, Photoshop document. I'm going to put it right out here on my desktop. And I'm going to put at the front of it, Mike Brown, non-destructive. And we didn't resize it because it was already pretty small, so we're just going to do that. We're going to choose Save. And when it says, gives you this dialog box, you can just tell it, don't tell me that again, and say OK. And it's saved to your desktop. There it is. If I want to upload it to the assignment submission link.